By John Hall. He was a merchant who had his docks like over there, so we can't see him right now because everything's been built in between it. He built this house because he wanted a dynasty. It had around 10 acres of land, but they had to sell it off when the the National Trust took over. He had 2 wives. His first wife didn't have any kids, but his second wife did, and his name was John Hall Jr. John Hall Jr. It was very tragic, his life was. His dad died, so the original owner of the house, his dad died in 2 years after he was born. Then his mom died 9 years after that. And then his aunt died 2 years after that.
Aye.
And so a lot of people within his line that were around him just kind of died. And he died when he was 29. But he had a wife, and she was wealthy because his house was left to her. But she gave it to her father because she didn't want her new husband to take the house off her because it was from her old husband, so she wanted to keep it. And so she gave it to her father, who gave it back to her. And so around 100 years before she was actually legally supposed to own a house, she had a house in her own name and her husband couldn't get to it. The house, it was tenanted out by her family because she wasn't living in it. She was living with her husband.
Yeah.
And so this house has a lot of different inhabitants. We talk about downstairs. It's normally seen. As you came in, it was a really large room compared to the other ones. It's actually not supposed to be like that. There's supposed to be a wall in between it. So it's all supposed to be, as you can see, in these rooms, they're all equal. It's supposed to be like that downstairs as well, but they changed it so it could make it look grander. Because during that time, the higher class didn't actually pay for anything that they bought. And so because John Hall was a merchant, he wanted to get the money that he was owed. And so he made himself look of a higher class. So he has the seal downstairs, which was on the wall.
Yeah.
He put in this staircase. It's actually supposed to lead up to the top floor, but because it's so big, they couldn't actually fit it. So we have the spiral staircase that's over there. And there's also other parts that you can the opening part is actually supposed to be of a larger house, but he was putting it in here so he could make it grander. There's other parts of this. Okay, so there was 50 tenants in this, and one of them was Anthony Denny. He was a photo photographer. He actually changed the whole colour scheme of that room. That's why it's bright blue. That's it's normal for the 60s because that's when he tinted it out. Downstairs there's gold around the actual room. It's not actually supposed to be like that. He put that in, and he's one of the reasons that the tenants was told not to change the house because he changed so much of it from the actual original history. Apparently these paintings on the wall, they're actually original to the house. Most of this house is original, apart from some of the furniture. We've got the clock downstairs.
Yeah.
It was brought in because once John Howard died, his wife wanted to keep the house, and because of that she needed to sell off a lot of the furniture to be able to afford it. And so we don't actually have much of the original furniture anymore. Bye.